சத்தம் கேட்கும் இல்லையா, அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணுறோம். ஒரு நிமிஷம் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறதா? Okay, open. भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। राम 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 राम।
Yogi Ram Duratma, Yogi Ram Duratma,
भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। Our grateful pranams to the lotus feet of Bhagavan. With the Nama lotuses, we have been able to offer, but for His grace, it would not have been possible at all for any of us to gather here and sing His powerful name. Bhagavan used to say, without grace, nothing is possible. You cannot open your eyes and close. Without grace, one cannot even breathe. Everything requires grace, and grace is the foundation of all that happens. But we have no understanding of this grace. And today, we shall see a particular aspect. There is a story again. We often find fault with people. It is so easy to do so. So we often indulge in it. And by doing so, we hold ourselves higher than other people. It is the demand of the ego. But little we realize that every fault that we find with other people has to be paid one day or the other, paid back to us. Everything about each creature is noted down in the personal diary of a devata. It's meant for it. Bhagavan often said there's a cosmic register where every creature's, not everybody's, every creature's account is meticulously maintained. No single word, no single action escapes that account. And we are accountable. Now, we know that the great Mahatmas never could possibly find fault with anybody. Bhagavan would say, when the ashram construction was going on, if there was anything that went wrong, he would say, oh, this beggar has no courage to find fault with anybody. It's all this beggar's mistake. He doesn't have the courage to blame anyone for anything. He can only blame himself. Now this is for all of us to learn. He could see only character, not faults in anybody. He was often referred to as the mountain of great character. So he could only see the good qualities of people. Never he could spot anything faulty in others. Now here is a story that accentuates this point. There is this Devaloka, the Loka, the world of the celestial beings. And the king of the celestial beings is called Indra, Indra Deva. Now one day, in his court, the celestial court, he was describing the character, the spotless character of one king by name Krishnadeva, who was ruling a particular kingdom on the earth. He was saying that Krishnadeva, the king, could not bring himself to find fault with anybody or anything, not just anybody. Any happening, any situation, he could not bring himself to find fault. So he was praising this Krishnadeva to the skies, and one of the celestial beings present there could not bear it. He said, what is it? What is so great about this man? That the king of the celestial beings should praise so much? I must go find out myself. It was not acceptable to him unless it got proved. So he came down, he knew the way, the pathway Krishnadeva was walking. He made himself a very dirty, dead dog. And what was more, it was disintegrating, the body was disintegrating, inviting worms all over. And there was a very bad smell, stink, coming out of the body. And what was more, it was the dog's body, and the mouth of the dog was broken wide, and all that was inside had come out so disgustingly, and the teeth, the line of teeth, also visible. Now imagine a very dirty, disgusting look of a dead dog which was stinking a mile and which had the most disgusting look because it was disintegrating and decomposing, and the worms all over the body, vermins eating up, and the broken mouth with the teeth, the both lines of the teeth showing up, and then along with that, all that was inside the throat had come out. The most disgusting scene. Now Krishnadeva was coming that way. As soon as he spotted, he did not mind the smell. It looked as though he was not even aware of the stink. And as soon as he saw the dead body, the disintegrating dead body with the worms all over, it looked as though it was dead days before, many days before. But all that he could see was those two lines of teeth. Not one tooth was broken, and they looked so white and nice. He said, just look at that. The rest of the body is so bad, yet look at that, the line of teeth. The teeth are so perfect, white, and well placed. How beautiful it looks. Now, the people who were accompanying Krishnadeva, they were used to Krishnadeva's this particular quality of praising, always praising everything, praising people, praising situation, even praising often the problems that occurred. He would praise them because he could find solutions to them. So now they agreed readily because the king was saying so. And suddenly, this celestial being, which was lying down in the form of a disgusting dog, the dead dog, heard and saw how Krishnadeva could see only the perfect teeth, as he described, of the dog. He simply did not see the rest of the body at all. He did not mind the stink. It looked as though he did not even smell it. Now the celestial being could not contain himself anymore. Immediately he appeared in his true form and said, "O king, you are so great. Just as Indradeva praised you, you deserve all that praise, because you cannot find anything bad in anything, anything disgusting. You cannot find fault in anything. You can only see the best in everything. This is a great quality, and you deserve a boon. Please ask whatever you want." So the celestial being blessed this king nicely and went back. Now let us shift to Sudama way back in the 90s, when Swami was residing in Sudama. I have shared this story quite a few times with people before, but let's go through it again because it carries a lesson that we have to learn again and again and again until it goes deep and settles down. So, Bhagavan was seated in that veranda of Sudama. He was smoking and smoking, completely absorbed in his father's work. A word about smoking: Bhagavan's smoking is not the smoking of ordinary people. When Bhagavan smoked, people's bad karmas went up in the smoke. He could burn them away. He often found it in the initial period, he often found it difficult to stay in the heavy vibrations of ordinary people. He found it very difficult to do Father's work. He said, then the Father said, okay, take to smoking, you will be able to do what you have to. And that's how he started smoking. And Bhagwan always kept a piece of dried gooseberry in his mouth to mitigate the effects of smoking. And he was doing it all the time, so many years, that in the end he used to say, Devki, this beggar has lost all taste because of this constant presence of a piece of dried gooseberry. He cannot find any taste in any of the food. Yet he did not mind, he kept on smoking away people's sins. Now, that day I was reading out letter after letter. Every day we used to get many letters from different parts of the world, different parts of India. And there used to be so much suffering in each letter. I had heard Bhagwan describing his father as an ocean of grace. Now here I was wondering, when I read out the sufferings of people, and some of them is most cruel, ruinous, devastating. And I began to wonder, how could someone be an ocean of grace when he could give such terrible suffering to people? This is one question that everybody raises. So I was also afflicted with this, and then I could not bring myself to ask Bhagwan immediately because for fear that I would disturb his work. And I kept on looking at him, and then finally he realized that he saw the question in my eyes. Then, of course, I blurted out, I said, Bhagwan, how can your father be an ocean of grace? Just see what these letters have to say. He just didn't say anything. He looked at me, and then he looked at a footrest that we had spread on the veranda where the steps end. It was rainy season, so we had to keep a footrest there so that when we entered Sudama, we could wipe our feet. He said, Devki, you see that? The gunny bag? Yes. There is something written there. Will you go and read? Here I was thinking, for a minute I was wondering, I had asked a very profound question, according to me. And here all that he said was, there's a gunny bag there. Just go see, read what is written on that. So I went there, and it was written on the gunny bag, this bag contains number 1, strong rice, cleansed of all the stones, brawn, and broken bits. So the gunny bag must have contained number 1, strong rice, before it became a footrest. Now, as I read out, I was just thinking for a second, a fraction of a second, what is this? And this was written in Tamil. We never looked down to see what was written there, nor did Bhagwan. And yet, here he was pointing out to something that was written there, and that in Tamil. As soon as I read that, he said, Devki, that is it. Meaning that was the answer. Even as I began to wonder how this could be the answer, suddenly it flashed. Of course, the rice, the brawn had to be removed, and the broken bits, the stones, and the rice should be made strong. For this, how much the rice had to go through, the cleansing process. So something similar is happening to people. Every suffering is meant to cleanse us of unwanted things. For one thing, it turns us towards God because we feel helpless, insecure. We need to hold on to something very strong. But for suffering, we would never turn to God. And whatever good things that we would get in life, we would think that we deserved. Now, I understood immediately this is what it meant, that every suffering happens according to their past karma, and at the same time, it carries a blessing to cleanse us of all that is unwanted in us. It is twofold. Even as we get our past karma spent, we also get this blessing that accompanies it for cleansing us, pushing us towards God. And then, as I was thinking about it, I just turned to him. He smiled and raised his hand in benediction. I knew I hit it right. So, this is one thing. And then sometime later, there was another occurrence. This is why the suffering is happening. The other occurrence is, again one day, I went up to the terrace. I saw a beautiful mango, perfect in its look. It was not yet ripe. It was an unripe mango, was hanging there, and just over Sudama's terrace. A branch had come up till that. For a second I felt the temptation to pluck it. But then I contained myself, thinking that it would not please Bhagavan to take something that belonged. Of course, there was nobody there in the next plot. There was only this tree, and it has been there for quite some time, and nobody built anything. Nobody even came there to clean up the place. So it was for anyone to take, yet I knew that Bhagavan would not like it and it was not dharma. So I came down. Now 2 days after, it was rainy season, and there was a certain cement platform up to a point that is inside the compound. Where the trees were, there was only slush everywhere because it had rained. Muddy water and slush. And to my shock, I was walking. Bhagavan also came out and he sat in one place. So I also sat. And then I saw the same mango had fallen down. It was also bitten by a monkey. And the monkey must have thrown it down. And it had gone deep into the slush. So part of it was above it. And it had probably, it was 1 or 2 days. So there's fungus all over. And that apart, there was also a centipede moving over it. A very disgusting creature, according to me, in those days. It was a total picture of disgust. As soon as I saw it, it reminded me of a letter that I got some 2 or 3 days before. As I was reading out letters, as I said in the previous incident, there was one particular letter from South African. He had said, I hear that you are a great Mahatma. That's okay with me. But I am a wholesale sinner. There's not a single sin that I have not done. And I'm unable to free myself from this. What can you do to me? What can you do about this? It was very challenging. At the same time, it sounded pathetic. And I thought, I was also eager to know the reply from Bhagavan. But then again, as I said in the previous incident, I could not bring myself to ask him. Bhagavan was very busy doing his smoking and work. But then he came out, he sat there on the cement platform, he walked a little bit, and that's when he spotted this mango that had fallen down. And he sat down and he said, Devaki, do you see this mango? Just minutes before, I spotted the mango as well, and I was thinking, 2 days before, this was a flawless, beautiful mango, tempting me to pluck it, to make chutney for Bhagavan, because Bhagavan loved mango chutney. And now, 2 days after, just see the fate of this mango. It was bitten by a monkey, it had fallen down into the slush, and there is fungus, and then a centipede climbing up. How disgusting. And I was thinking, probably even the mangoes have fate, like human beings. Of course, Bhagavan knew my thoughts, and that's when he said, Devaki, do you see that mango? Now, as soon as he pointed out, and I saw the condition of the mango, there were butterflies in my stomach. I felt, okay, today this mango will find its samadhi inside my stomach. Bhagavan is going to give it to me to eat, because I felt disgusted at the look of it. He said, go, bring it over. So I went there because I had to obey, and then I removed the centipede from that, and then I brought it out, and very hastily I said, Bhagavan, shall I go inside and wash it and bring it? No, Devaki, you sit down here. Now I knew I had no choice, and I was just waiting for his next command, which I thought I knew. He said, Devaki, now you go to the kitchen and bring a knife. Again, I had no choice but to obey, so I ran inside and brought the knife. And that's when he was examining the mango in his hand. He was just rotating it, and then he pointed to a spot, an yellow spot, flawless, as though that part of the mango has become ripe. He said, you see the spot, Devaki? Yes, Bhagavan. Will you cut it and give it to this beggar? Now I knew he was going to eat it, and I cut it and pulled it out, that piece. It looked red inside, a really very ripe mango. It looked very inviting. And Bhagavan took it in his hand, and he bit into it, relished it. And then he said, Devaki, just take this. Now I didn't mind because it was his prasad. So I took it also, and it tasted wonderful. It was delectable. And then I was thinking that he was playing a leela, probably to teach me something. And then again, suddenly flashed the question I wanted to ask, that your father is an ocean, like I said in the previous one. Now this man is suffering from the thought. He not only committed those sins, he was also suffering because he wanted to be free from them, and he could not bring himself to do it. And the mango reminded me of him, and I was thinking, what would be the relief for such people, the wholesale sinners, according to the man. Now suddenly it struck me that even in such people, the great ones could find a spot, a flawless spot, and through that they could enter those people and do the transforming work. Just as the king, Krishnadev, found only that flawless teeth, the 2 rows of teeth which looked perfect and deserved his praise. And he, for his part, could see only that which was the best in the whole thing. Here Bhagavan saw the whole mango and saw that flawless pot. He had it cut and took a piece and gave it to me to see the taste. So you see, even the worst people have something, some quality praiseworthy. And the Mahatmas see only that. If 99 points are very bad about a man and there is 1 point, the saving grace, 1 good quality, the Mahatmas would see only that. And they start to work through that. Now isn't this what we have to learn from these great ones, having come to his feet? That we should also be able to see only that which is good in people. Sharada Ma says in one place, we would do 99 good turns to someone, and maybe 1 good turn turned out to be a bad turn. People would remember only that failure, and they would not remember those 99 good turns that we did to them. They say, oh, see, this one failed. They failed to help. The 99 times we helped them, they would not remember. All that would go down the drain. But the one time we failed would make a deep impression on people, and they would talk about that. Likewise, it is in the very nature of human being to see only all that is bad in everything and everyone. But the reverse is the truth of these great souls. They can find only that flawless quality, even in the worst kind of people. And they would praise that. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. I remember at this time that just one thing, that Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, I think I must have mentioned recently, even a prostitute looked like Krishna to him. Even a prostitute was Mother Parashakti to him, because he lived that level. Whereas even if Parashakti should turn up before us, we know what some people would think. There were Rakshasas, the Puranas, who wanted to marry Parvati Devi, carry her over and marry her. Anyway, let us learn, having come to the holy feet of a great one, that we should now take a vow not to see the blemishes, the fault of the people, but only the good in them. We shall offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again, 1,000,000 times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy, change the way of the world today. There is so much violence everywhere and growing enmity. There is so much misunderstanding and flaring up in enmity and fighting, and the war is already going on. And again, the sudden attacks of cruel diseases and the furies of nature. We beg you, Bhagavan, only you can do it. Please bring peace, harmony, order, and growing friendship and brotherhood, a good understanding and mutual help. And this war that's going on must stop by your grace soon, and that should be peace all around. And Bhagavan, we also beg you to have good control over these diseases and the violence of nature. We beg you again to uproot all these asuric thoughts in the human mind, the negativities that are responsible for today's world. We beg you to reach out to those people who have been stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other due to their past karma, in great agony and helplessness and lack of protection. We beg you again and again to reach out to them and do the needful. And we also beg you to help and protect all those good people, unselfish people who have been slogging for the welfare of the other people from unhealthy criticisms and reproaches. We beg you again to promote the economy of the country and the growth of activities in varied fields, from science, technology, and culture and spirituality, that India should soon reach that great status of world teacher so that it could conduct the whole world in the path of dharma. And Bhagavan, we beg you in all earnestness and sincerity for ceaseless chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings so that we could assimilate and make them into Atma Shakti. We beg you to bless us all to be sattvic instruments in your hands. Please bless us to run our everyday life as an offering to you, and that we should not find fault with anybody. Even if we do find fault with anybody, we should immediately remember your greatness and learn to push it away and remember only all that is good. And we beg you to bless us not to be caught by the snares of Maya. We seek that ultimate state of bliss and peace, but then we need to be purified. Purified of what? The fear, the killer fear sometimes, it eats us up. If not fear, we are angry with people, which is poisonous. It poisons the angry person first before it hits the others. And then the passion, sorrow, jealousy, and growing desires for worldly possessions. Bhagavan, only your powerful Nama is the right weapon to destroy them. For we know that you have taught us that no single Nama goes waste, and every Nama has the power to destroy our past sins, which are responsible for these vasanas. We seek refuge in that powerful name and beg you to bless us for joyful, ceaseless chanting of this. We also take refuge in your seva, wherever we are, in whichever part of the world. Whatever work falls into our hand, if you look upon it as your work, because the whole cosmos belongs to you, and whatever work is there in the cosmos, it's yours. So if you look at it as your work and do it as seva to you, and joyfully, without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, all that would become Atma Shakti. Bhagavan, please bless us also to practice acceptance. Acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow. Coming from you, it can only be a great blessing meant for our spiritual progress, because, as I said, but for suffering we would not even turn to God. And we would be pushed towards God because of the suffering and helplessness, and that would bring us a closeness between God and us. Bhagavan, please bless us to be able to see your living, vibrant presence everywhere and in everything, and to know for all the happenings of the world or life, it is your Sankalpa that's behind it. And please bless us to be able to detect that hidden grace even in the most devastating experiences of life. When a past karma suddenly attacks us and deprives us of our balance and all that is best in us, and that we collapse and resent God and blame everyone else for our own failures and go into deep depression. We try to move away from you, but you, out of your generosity and love, would keep us at your feet and turn all our difficulties into great blessings. You have promised it. Please bless us to be grateful to you even for the sufferings of life. We seek your blessings for all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of being, whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek that huge grace for liberation from the vicious cycle of births and deaths. The root cause of it is our ahambhava. I am the body, the utter selfishness, the I and mine that rule all our lives. Bhagavan, please free us from the tyranny of this ego and bless us with that immortal life, eternal living, eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Yoginam Sanat Kumar.